A rebellious child, after 2.5 years of tutoring, mutated into a zombie, his first target being his untrustworthy father. Although the walls were covered with his certificates of merit, his father had never delivered on his promises. Unexpectedly, as a zombie, he was instinctively terrified upon hearing his mother's roar. Driven by his past obsessions, he stabbed his mother in the chest, all witnessed by Duan Fei. Just moments before, a zombie virus had swept the globe. Within an hour, 90% of humanity randomly mutated into zombies. Duan Fei, however, was reborn with 20 years of knowledge and memories from her previous life, returning to 10 hours before the apocalypse. In her past life, she abandoned her paralyzed sister, choosing to escape alone. In this life, she prepared a truckload of supplies in advance, choosing to fight the apocalypse alongside her sister. To prevent a repeat of this tragedy, Duan Fei needed to eliminate all the zombies in the building to ensure her and her sister's safety. So he left his sister alone at home while he painstakingly explored and killed the lurking zombies, layer by layer. This was because he had acquired the evolution tree system. Each kill, even if it resulted in a zombie, granted him 1 evolution point, which could be used to improve his strength, agility, perception, and mental power. Duan Fei entered Aunt Li's house, only to witness a heartwarming scene of fatherly love and sonly devotion in her bedroom. The son, now a zombie, had killed his father, and the child, his face contorted with rage, asked, "Uncle, are you here for tutoring too?" However, unbeknownst to Duan Fei, Aunt Li suddenly swung a baseball bat behind him, aiming for his skull. At that moment, Duan Fei felt a chill run down his spine, and with a thud, the bat hit the ground. Luckily, Duan Fei quickly retreated to the side. "Aunt Li, what are you doing?" At that moment, the zombie son charged towards Duan Fei. Although the child wasn't strong, his speed was mutated to an astonishing degree. Duan Fei was pinned to the floor. Known points: forcibly using force to subdue a zombie. Just as Duan Fei was about to deliver the fatal blow, Aunt Li stepped in front of him, shouting, "You can't hurt my son!" Duan Fei, exhausted, pleaded, "Aunt Li, wake up! Your son has become a zombie who only eats." Aunt Li was terrified, but still tried to reassure herself. "Xiao Yi isn't a zombie. He's just sick. Once an antidote is developed, my son will be saved." She was about to lunge at Duan Fei. Upon hearing his mother's frantic screams, Xiao Yi's expression suddenly turned to fear and disgust. Duan Fei's warning was too late. The child's hand had already instinctively plunged into his mother's chest. Aunt Li couldn't understand it. She was trying to save him. At that moment, Xiao Yi let out an unconscious howl behind her. "Ugh! I hate all these tutoring classes." Aunt Li, who desperately wanted her son to succeed, felt until her death that enrolling him in 10 tutoring classes was also for his future. At this moment, Duan Fei roared and cursed, "You master! You and your master's wife are bastards." But when Duan Fei rushed over to kill the zombie Xiao Yi, he was forcefully stopped by a pair of bloody hands. "Please, don't kill my son. He's only 13 years old, with a bright future ahead of him. Maybe he can recover." Duan Fei coldly replied, "Once a person becomes a zombie, they can't recover to human form, at least not for the next 20 years. Aunt Li's last words before she breathed her last were, "Don't lie to me. My son was the best." Looking at Xiao Yi wolfing down her food, Aunt Li felt regretful. This was a kind of relief for Xiao Yi. At this moment, the system notified that a zombie had been killed, gaining 1 purification point for cleanup. After reaching the 11th floor, Duan Fei placed bells all over the stairwell, only to encounter the fitness coach who lived on the 5th floor in the 10th floor hallway. Could he have been attracted by the smell of blood? Although he was also a low-level zombie, he had undergone countless physical training sessions in his previous life. Just as Duan Fei was wondering if his zombie-like strength was astonishing, the fitness instructor suddenly shouted, "Want to sign up for a membership?" He then swung a dumbbell at Duan Fei. Duan Fei didn't catch it, but landed innocently on the stairwell. Sure enough, after becoming a zombie, the instructor's strength increased exponentially. The next second, Duan Fei dodged to the side, and in the instant the attack landed, he had already jumped. Just as Duan Fei landed, a sharp claw shot out from the wall behind him. With a loud bang, the wall suddenly exploded. When the smoke cleared, the claw's appearance was clear. The reason Duan Fei felt the situation was so dire was because, before humans awakened their superpowers, their greatest fear was of zombie-like animals. Because animals' sense of smell and hearing are virtually indistinguishable first before truly retaliating. First, Duan Fei felt overwhelmed. Even if his attacks landed, they couldn't kill them instantly. The fitness instructor, on the other hand, was stronger than him. The zombie hounds lurking nearby would find openings in his attacks, catching Duan Fei off guard. After creating distance, Duan Fei rushed downstairs, as his current strength was insufficient to handle the combined attack of these two zombie species. But then, the first wave of zombies, drawn by the scent, arrived. They had already arrived. When Duan Fei looked up, he saw the fitness instructor again. "Come on, get a membership card." Having said that, he raised the dumbbells again, leaped up, and Duan Fei, facing the low-level zombies, had no choice but to charge head-on. In an instant, he was in front of the last zombie in the line, stabbing it in the heart. Behind him, the fitness coach's dumbbells were already poised to strike, his muscles twitching wildly as he threw them, instantly decapitating 3 zombie minions. But then, Duan Fei suddenly vanished. Looking closely, he saw the door to the 8th floor apartment had just been closed. Judging from the interior and personal belongings, it seemed to be the home of a reclusive otaku. Duan Fei had no choice but to hide there temporarily. Here, he pondered, remembering that the system hadn't notified him of any evolution points being credited. Could it be that he needed to deliver the final blow? Just then, the hound's nose followed the scent of blood on Duan Fei, and the fitness coach arrived with it. Damn it, he'd completely forgotten about the hound. At that moment, the fitness coach was deeply engrossed in the screen on the computer. Just as Duan Fei peeked out, the fitness instructor was already beside him. Finding Duan Fei charging towards him, the instructor's pupils constricted. He desperately tried to block the attack, but the force overwhelmed him, and the floor beneath his feet shattered. He was knocked from the 8th floor to the 7th, his body broken and fractured. Countless zombies were already closing in on the dying Duan Fei, his consciousness fading. He asked himself, even with the evolutionary tree, even with rebirth, could he still not protect his poor, paralyzed sister? But then, Duan Fei heard the bell on the 11th floor being destroyed by the zombies. At that moment, every cell in Duan Fei's body throbbed wildly, and the smiling face of the crescent moon shattered repeatedly in his mind. No, that won't do. Whoosh! With a thud, 2 zombies were instantly killed. The system notified him that he had 5 evolution points and asked if he wanted to upgrade his attributes. Duan Fei used the 3 evolution points needed to upgrade his agility. He quickly opened the door and began counting the low-level zombies outside. Just enough limbs, Duan Fei gripped his dagger and slashed the throats of 4 zombies with lightning speed. The system notified him that he had killed 4 zombies and had 6 evolution points remaining. Duan Fei proactively opened the strength enhancement window. The system notified him that level 3 strength upgrade was complete. "Xan you must wait for me." At the same time, a soft knock came from the door of Duan Fei's apartment on the 13th floor. His paralyzed sister, in a wheelchair, approached the door. "Brother, if it's you, answer the door." The knocking became slightly more urgent. At this moment, Xianyu's left hand was slowly moving towards the doorknob.